a lot of what we see in cultural Christianity, I don't mean cultural as in non-biblical, but I mean like higher level, big sample size in the culture of Christianity. Like truth telling seems to be condemned a
Mm.
lot.
Mhm.
Um,
Well,
and y-
capital T truth telling.
that's right.
A lot of people will say that they're pursuing truth, and they'll
Mm,
put truth even in their bios of their social media, and they're saying, "I'm a pursuer of truth," but they don't mean objective reality. They
mm,
mean my truth. They
my
mean
truth.
what resonates with me and living my most authentic self. That's usually, I think, what people mean, because most people, I think, in our culture don't really think there is an objective truth to be known when it comes to spirituality or morality, the existence of God, questions like that. Those have become very subjective questions. So when people say they're pursuing truth, they mean they're pursuing their most authentic expression of those things, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would agree with that. I think it's been hard being combated by like fellow believers when you're trying to strive for what's true, the truth. And even speaking like that seems to be like you're being the mean one, right?
Mhm.
If there's the truth or objectively true, where your feelings aren't a part of this conversation, what you want isn't a part of this conversation. The truth is actually what we're after. If you're in a setting as a Christian amongst other Christians, and you're the one vying for that, for the group to come back around the truth, what type of response do you often get?
Well, I get a a lot of people will say, "Well, you just," because they don't define truth that way, they
Mhm.
think that I'm just advocating for what I think is true.
Yeah.
So in other
Mm.
words, and in a sense that's true. I mean, we all should be advocating for what we think
Correct.
reflects reality, right?
For
Right.
all of us, right.
Right.
For all of us. We and none of us are always getting to that perfectly, but that should be the goal.
Mhm.
But I'm continually, I mean, I'm not surprised by it, but it's just sometimes you think like, don't you see by now? And then people don't tend to see. But even when you're just mentioning a very plain Bible verse that's not really that difficult to interpret, right?
Mm. Yeah.
And people will say, "Well, you just, if is you get upset when people just don't agree with your interpretation." So I get
Mhm.
that a lot. People will say things like that.
Yeah.
And what I don't think they have made the connection with is that um, there's really only one correct interpretation of
Mhm.
every Bible verse. Now, like
Mhm.
I said, not all of us get to it perfect. I'm sure I'm wrong about some of them. I'm
Mhm.
sure, but my goal is to discover what it is, not to try to advocate for what I want it to be.
Mm.
Yeah.